Afroz Ahmad is one of the strong family members of P.N. Panikkar Foundation. In fact, he is known as the waterman. He was in the United States for a long time, but the Prime Minister brought him to India, and he became the advisor to the Prime Minister, and he was the Ganga. He was the cleaning. He had a big vision of cleaning Ganga, and then later he became advisor to Maharashtra, and lot of activities in connecting the water and environment science. Not only that, he was a chairman of the Department of Science and Technology on science communication, and during his tenure he has done a lot of wonderful initiatives.
Great.
And he is a very positive man. Whenever we talk to him, he is a very positive man. And whenever he visits Kerala, he takes much interest and he takes time to meet the press people, and they are all eager to hear his new initiatives and innovations in taking environment to the common man. And he's a environment because of his knowledge and his practical approach to this environment problem. He has been nominated to the ministers of the Maharashtra government, and then previously the government of India and the Prime Minister also. And I attach much importance to his association with us. With his words, he has got a lot of credentials to his credit, but I am briefing because of the time limit. I am inviting Dr. Afroz Ahmad, one of my family friend also, to this August program. Welcome Dr. Afroz Ahmad ji to this program.
Thank you very much, Bal Gopala Sahib. I am really delighted to address this important meetings organized in honor of P.N. Panikkar Reading Mission and Digital Mission of national importance. I would like to thank especially to Dr. Bal Gopal Sahab and his team for giving me the opportunity to be a part of these important programs. I am also happy to know that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi Sahab had already announced 19th June as a National Reading Day in the country. This is a great honor to a stalwart, to a person who was known as a father of library movement in Kerala, P.N. Panikkar. A great honor from the Prime Minister. The Honorable Prime Minister has also mentioned in his message to P.N. Panikkar Foundation the role played by the foundation in making this program as a mass movement program in Kerala, and he felt that this program should be made as a movement for entire country. I am really grateful to be a part of this program, and I feel that contribution of P.N. Panikkar Foundation is commendable, and especially Bal Gopal Sahab and his team. Corona pandemic of 21st century has resulted serious problems, serious impacts on the socio-economic, cultural environment as well as the political environment in the entire world. This pandemic has given the opportunity to the people to think about how to succeed further in their different and various affairs, to overcome with the poverty, to overcome with the livelihood issues, to overcome with the problem of economical slowdown that have resulted due to corona pandemic. In this manner, the mission launched by P.N. Panikkar Foundation is of utmost importance because reading is one of the important aspects for the progress of any society. If you don't have reading habits, if you don't have reading objectives in any society, the society cannot grow. And I feel that P.N. Panikkar Sahab, his thought several decades back to have a movement of library in each and every panchayats is now a reality in Kerala, and I feel that it should be replicated in entire country. Now the most important problems in this corona pandemic has happened about the economical slowdown, the problems of livelihoods of about 2 billion people, the problems of missing schools by about 1.7 billion children. This is a great tragedy for entire world. And now it is a high time to think over, to have a green economy options for improving the economic condition of the country. And therefore green economy emerged, and one of the important indicators that has to be followed and that has to be find out. I am going to share a very small intervention I had been instrumental in making is transfer of water. You know, water is one of the important component of the environment. Only water had changed scenario of a desert in Rajasthan, and it has provided the opportunity to the people to have self-sustainability in all fronts, including the economic fronts and especially the green jobs. So I would like to share that how water from a humid subtropical region of Narmada Basin has been transferred to a desert area, arid and semi-arid regions of Rajasthan, that is Barmer and Jalore area, and how transformation has taken place in about 12-year period. So I feel pleasure to share because I was associated with the policy plannings and implementation in the area, and I feel it will be very useful for the youths, for the policy planners, for the civil societies like P.N. Panikkar Foundation to replicate the similar things in other parts of the country. As you all know that Narmada is one of the important river systems, important basin in this country. The river originates from Madhya Pradesh to a plateau called Maikal range of Vindhyachal mountains, and it flows in between the Satpura and Vindhyachal mountains from the Madhya Pradesh and flowing through Maharashtra and finally meeting to Gujarat in the Gulf of Cambay, covering about 1,300 kilometer distance. The river is so beautiful that being non-glacier rivers, it has potential of water throughout the years. So that is lifeline for Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat. The sharing of the water of Narmada was one of the important conflicts in the country in the early 70s, but it has been resolved in 1979 by a tribunal called Narmada Water Dispute Tribunals. And I must share that Rajasthan, once endowed with large number of rivers like Ganges, Brahmaputra, in the desert area that is called Thar deserts, the history shows, the archaeological research finding indicates, but today all has vanished. Only one river system, that is Luni River, is available in the Thar desert area. So transfer of water and making water available to Rajasthan was one of the important gesture of Narmada tribunals. So Rajasthan government requested for some water from Narmada, and therefore 500,000 acre feet water was allocated to Rajasthan for Barmer and Jalore area. Barmer and Jalore area is very strategically located. It is thus bordering the Pakistan. We have our air, army and paramilitary bases there because of strategic locations, but water is one of the important challenge in that area. And therefore transfer of water from some humid areas to a desert area was really a challenge for the planners, for the policy makers, for the governments. But I would like to share to you that this Narmada water transferred to the Rajasthan has a history itself. Narmada is one of the most debated projects in the world. It was criticized, it was challenged by nationally and international civil societies, policy makers, retired jurists, retired bureaucrats, and large number of social activists, even various parliamentarians and policy makers and lawmakers in entire worlds. This project I am talking to you, that is called Sardar Sarovar Narmada project. That is an interstate project of 4 states, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Rajasthan. That project has been completed in 2017 and Honorable Prime Minister has dedicated to the nation in September 2017, costing about 74,000 crore, about 743 billion rupees so far. Now the water has been transferred to Rajasthan also in 2008, when the dam height was raised to the level when water can be supplied to the canals. I must share to you the important features of this project is that this is the second largest project in the world in terms of concrete that has been used in building the dam, Sardar Sarovar Dam. It is third highest dam in the India. It is second highest dam in discharge of water, that is about 80,000 cubic meter per second water that is discharged from the dam. It is very important in the sense of especially to the canal systems. That is about 2 million, about 20 lakh hectare land is going to be irrigated. That is about 1.8 million hectare in Gujarat. Mostly, I must say that 75% land, that is the arid land, desert area, and it is a part of expansion of Thar in the Saurashtra Kutch area in Rajasthan, and it is going to irrigate 0.25 million hectare desert area in Rajasthan. This project is providing drinking water about 10,000 villages in Gujarat and 173 towns and cities in Gujarat. The canal itself is about 75,000 network of the canal and 458 kilometer length of the canal, that is like a river, and it is the biggest canal network in the world. So now I would like to focus the benefits of this project, not only irrigation but the benefit of electricity also. This project is providing of course 1450 megawatt electricity that is shared between the states of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat, maximum share to the Madhya Pradesh. Now I would like to focus that how the water has been transferred to Rajasthan. So 458 kilometer long canal from the dam that is located in the Narmada districts of Gujarat, newly constituted districts in Gujarat. It travels to 458 kilometer like a river systems, as I have told that 80,000 cubic meter per second the discharge of water. It is too high in the world, second in the world in discharge of the water. So it finally reaches to the border of the Rajasthan, and then 74 kilometer long canal in Rajasthan to provide drinking water, to provide irrigation in the Thar deserts. Now the canal network in Rajasthan is about 1,000 and 700 kilometer, that is the canal networks, and irrigation area is about 0.25 million hectare. Now I would like to share that how this water transformation, water transportation or water transfer or introduction of Narmada water through the canal in the desert area have changed, have transformed the desert economy, desert sociology, desert culture, desert environment and ecology. That is a great example of transformation of the socio-economical, cultural and environmental aspects in the desert area. Let me share with you about the Thar desert, because it is so important that ye ecosystem which was existing in this world 55 to 65 million years before and having a mega diversity ecosystem at that point of time. It has been reported through archaeological studies that the area were endowed with big rivers like Ganges and Brahmaputra in the Thar deserts, but all vanished. Why vanished? That was the major reason of climatic changes and hydrological problems, change in hydrological problems. Thar is the 9th biggest desert of subtropical hot area in the world. It includes about 2 lakhs square kilometer area, and we are blessed, our country is blessed that 85% of the Thar is located in Rajasthan and Punjab and Haryana, majority in Rajasthan, and only 15% area is in Pakistan. Thar has its own ecological importance, significance, and as I told that 55 to 65 million years old Thar deserts, earlier it was having a mega biodiversity, how it has been affected due to climate changes. Now such ecosystems, you see, being a harsh ecosystem, climatically unproductive ecosystems, having about 40% Rajasthan population in that area. So it is very important system in view of the populations, in view of our defense systems, our especially reason for strategic locations, and therefore the water was very important. Now I would like to share that how the water was introduced in the Rajasthan in 2008 first time, and I would like to share with you that the Thar desert was having only one river basin, that is Luni river. That Luni river is about less than 500 kilometers, originate from the Pushkar range of Aravalli mountains, and it passes through Ajmer and all that area, finally meets and disappear in the Kutch area of Gujarat. So this is the only river basin where population in Rajasthan also we are inhabiting nearby in the margin of that area. The most important thing is that this Thar area, Indus civilization started on the margin of the Thar area. Can you believe? So Indus civilization, which was so important and so developed, flourished on the margin of the Thar deserts. And it belongs to period of Paleocene. The Paleocene period, as I told, 55 to 65 million years old, and this is the period just after the extinction of the dinosaurs. So these ecosystem, how a small water of Narmada has transformed, that is a unique system. As I told that in 2008 when water was introduced. Before that, I would like to share you the state of the environment of the Thar before introduction of the water. The area was totally unproductive. The agriculture was practiced only rain-fed, depending upon the rains, only in Kharif seasons, because the irrigation was nil, and they were growing only bajra, the pearl millets, and sesame and groundnut. These were the only crops they were growing, and the economy was subsistence. Water scarcity was in a looming condition, serious water scarcity problems in the area, employment was nil, people's migration was rampant, and drinking water was a serious issue for the population inhabiting in the area, as well as our defense systems, paramilitary forces, as well as air force also. We were not having local water available to meet their drinking water demands. I would like to share a important social aspect that the parents were reluctant to marry their daughters in that regions because no water was available. The climatic condition was very harsh. Sand dune formation was increasing. Advancement of desert was increasing, as well as the environmental services or the ecosystem services was diminishing. So this was the situation before introduction of the water. A small aspect of the nature, the water, how it has played important role. When water was introduced in 2008, I am quoting the study got done on my instance in 2013-14, about 5 to 6 years after introduction of the water. You believe that irrigation system was also a unique system, especially being a desert, to avoid any environmental consequences, any environmental negative impacts after introduction of the water that is associated with introduction of the irrigation in the desert area. So drip and sprinkler irrigation was made mandatory. I am very happy to share that now, in addition to kharif crops of bajra and millet, bajra that is called the pearl millet, and groundnut, now a variety of the crops are being grown in the Rabi season also because of water availability. These crops are cash crops. Now they are growing wheats, they are growing oats, they are growing isabgols, that is a medicinal crops. They are growing cumins, they are growing the especially the til and sesame. They are growing, in addition to these crops, they are growing the best horticulture. That is the miracles has taken place after the water. The horticulture includes pomegranate, gooseberry, Indian gooseberry, papaya, and the most important, the date palm. And I am sharing this information that pomegranate is being supplied in the entire country. In certain areas, maybe Bombay, maybe Delhi, in that area. So this is the transformation after introduction of the water in the area. Now 50 million jobs, employments, man days have been created. Migration has stopped. No migration. Now the marriage by the parents are being solemnized. That taboo or that you can say reluctance is now has gone. Now in addition to that, if you think about the production, I would like to share that about 3,25,000 tons of agricultural produce have been recorded in 2013-14, that is costing about 2,000 crores in 1 year. Now the microclimatic condition has changed, advancement of desert have been stopped, and major environmental benefits or impacts are green cover, regeneration of the vegetation. Now the vegetation which were available so many times back, their seeds and all that, they are regenerating. Governments has also launched several programs for greening the deserts, and now carbon sequestration is one of the important benefits that has taken place. In addition to all these, the agricultural boom have resulted the establishment of packaging industries in the area and processing industries based on agriculture. Now water, safe drinking water is available for the defense people, for the population, about you can say 500,000 population. are now having safe and sustainable drinking water supply. In addition, you see that infrastructure, if you see the health, education, road networks, all is coming very nicely after the improvement in the economy in the area. So in this manner, it has served as a miracle for the Thar deserts, socially, culturally, economically, and environmentally. Now, you see the groundwater situation is also improving, has improved, and large number of wild fauna, wildlife, and all that has also come, and government has taken initiative for preventing any negative environmental impacts of introduction of water in desert area based on environmental impact assessment, that is environmental management programs, that is in the implementation programs, that is going pari passu, side by side with the developmental activities. So this is the miracles that has happened in the desert area, and I must say now the recovery or the restoration of desert, Thar desert, having history of 55 to 65 million years old, one of the major mega diversity region, at that point of time, it now recovered and restored. This is a miracles in the desert has happened after introduction of the water. This is the best example of integrating environment with the development. It is a success story, and I must share with you that the restoration of desert ecosystems, especially Thar, is a showcase and is a model of sustainable development in the country that can be replicated throughout the world in the similar environment, similar conditions. And I must say that the employment generation, especially the green jobs, based on agriculture, based on horticulture, based on forestry has increased. Forestry is one of the important aspects in the area. The restoration, regeneration, the afforestation that has given lot of opportunity to the people, to the youths to have a green jobs in the area. Agricultural processing and packaging industries are providing lot of jobs to the people. In addition, the area is now having lot of opportunity to have another avenues based on environment. In this manner, the environmental security has been achieved in the area in the Thar deserts. And I must say, the transformation of the desert of Paleocene period, 55 to 65 million years old period, to a period now having good water system and good environment, both physical, biological, and socio-economic environment. So this is the best example of sustainable development and restoration of desert ecosystems in this country. I would like to thank once again to Bal Gopal Sahab for giving me the opportunity to share this practical experience of application of environmental management programs in a Thar desert, very harsh climatic condition. And I once again congratulate P.N. Panikkar Foundation for their mission, especially the mission of reading, that is the tools for development of the nation, and making this movement as a mass movement in the country. I once again thanks to P.N. Panikkar Foundation, entire staff, entire functionary, and the role of leadership played by Bal Gopala Sahab for making this foundation a foundation which is working day and night for the betterment of the peoples and betterment of the country and betterment of the environment. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir. Your speech was, yes, Dr. Vignesh.
Sure, sir, sure. So thank you so much for this wonderful example that you have given us. Already I think there are a few questions that have come in. So I request the participants to enter the questions in the question and answer section. So there is a question from Ms. Sajani Nair, and the question is Jadhav Mulai Payeng's model of sustainable development in Brahmaputra. or the Narmada project? Which one is more environmental friendly approach?
Yeah, very good question. I must say that Brahmaputra, of course, Brahmaputra model is not so popular like Narmada. Narmada could be now termed as a best model of sustainable development, and that need to be adopted. Right?
Sure, sir, sure. So, any other questions, participants? Sir, I have a question. So,
Please,
I think,
please. My pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah. So you may there is this Narmada Bachao Andolan that has started long back. So what is your views on the descent of the communities that were around this Narmada project? So what are your key or issues or your findings on this movement, sir?
Yeah, of course, it is good for the project or for any developmental activities that if you have a public say. This was one of the important projects, as I have shared to you, that most debated projects in the country. It has been scrutinized, it has been debated on the road, it has been debated in the highest court of the land. And in view of this, I must say to you that the best policy and package of rehabilitation has been made available to the people. I could not focus the Narmada issues, especially what we have done, because it was concentrated only to Thar deserts and transfer of the water. But I must share to you that the people who have been rehabilitated, their socio-economic conditions, and if you see their human development index has positively improved, and they have joined the mainstream of the country in terms of their rehabilitation. They have become landed people now. Everybody, all tribals, mostly tribal people, they are landed peoples. In addition, lot of number of intervention like fisheries development in the reservoir, that is 213 kilometer long reservoir, that has also made opportunity to the people to have the economic benefit from the fishery developments, and various scheme of the government for their socio-economic and sustainable in the area is also worth quoting to you. And as far as Andolan is concerned, as I told, that democratic country like India, everybody has the right to agitate, everybody has right to say something, but ideologically opposing the development, of course, it is undesirable. People should be rational approach. People should have the rational approach. Both development and environment can go together. And I have demonstrated before you a small example of the Thar desert, that how the environment of a humid climate water has been transferred to the desert, and desert has bloomed, has been transformed. That is one of the important aspects, that environment and development can go together. So Andolan, of course, had played important role. I appreciate that bringing several issues to the knowledge of the people and attracting attention of all the people, because it was an interstate projects having different political parties, different ideologies and all that. So it was important for us as a policy planners and as a bureaucrat to work on that important issues. It has helped us in identifying the problems. But having ideology that no development, that is not acceptable in this scenario when the country is still developing and needs lot of developments in the entire country.
Sure, sir. So there is a question from Dr. Jayaprakash. This question is, what happened to the Ganga Kaveri project, linking project?
Yeah, of course, linking up the project is a very difficult issue. Difficult in the sense, different ecology, different environment, transfer of the water, land acquisition and all that, and new law of the land acquisition, and the people's movement and agitation, of course. And secondly, water being a state subject, unless otherwise it is a interstate rivers or river basins, it is difficult that one state will share the water to other states, because water is going to be one of the important aspect for anyone very important natural resource, and no state is ready to share their water. So I think linking is only possible or feasible wherever you have similar topography, or if you have a similar, you can say, physiogeographic regions and geomorphological regions. But transfer of water from far off places like Ganga, Brahmaputra to the south and all that is really a difficult task. But I am still having a point that a detailed environmental impact assessment studies should be done, and on the basis of that, if you found it feasible, acceptable by the people and all that, definitely could be done. But I would like to focus as a scientist that resources available in the locally, that should be developed, that should be restored, that should be rehabilitated. If a river system is degraded, it should be rehabilitated rather than to think about the transfer of the water. But I must share that transfer that takes place in Narmada is one of the example, and not only Narmada, even the transfer of Indira Gandhi Canal water to Rajasthan, you see from Himachal and Punjab, that is also a success story, but definitely very difficult in a topographical and geographical locations. The transfer of water from far off places to other places is difficult. But in my view, transfer should only be considered after detailed studies of environment, that is environmental impact assessment studies, and thereafter one can think about the transfer of the water.
Yeah. Sure, sir. So the one last question. This question is from Ms. Sudha Venkatachari.
Right.
Are there any new similar projects that are coming up in the country now?
I don't think so. Very, very difficult, because a lot of water has already been tapped and utilized. Several projects on Brahmaputra, that in Arunachal Pradesh, that Subansari, and you can say one of the important projects on Brahmaputra was going to be constructed, that is in advanced stage. But such types of project, other projects is not coming up so far because of conflicts and all that. Especially you have Krishna, Kaveri and Godavari and all that going on. But Narmada like projects are not coming up now. Narmada has also been developed fully. Several projects have been also abandoned in the upstream, keeping in view the life and the ecology of the river. So now entire projects have been developed, and in near future there is no such gigantic or mega projects is coming up, except the small or micro projects.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for taking up.
Thank you so much for listening to me and giving the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Over to Balagopal, sir, for posting the open vote of thanks.
Yes.
Thank you, Afroz sir, for your very studied speech. And we have, because only thing is, I want to know how the people's action can be associated with this. Because the people's action has to be associated with this, then only on these projects, because there should be an element of people's participation.
Yes.
In that aspect also, you must go details. Then only it will be a real mega project.
Yes, yes. Let me respond to that.
Oh,
Let me respond to that.
Yes, please.
Gopal Sahab, very nicely, because you are people's representative and one of the important civil societies organization you are representing, having all practical experience. I must share that when the water was transferred in the Rajasthan, we found that how water could be distributed among the farmers. So we have about 2,500 water users associations. All are managed by the farmers of the Thar deserts. So in this manner, without people participation, I endorse my view, what you have expressed. It is not possible to achieve the goal. So water user association, about 2,500 have been made. They are responsible for release of the water. They are responsible for how much water to be allocated to the farmers. And in this view, people participation should be made an integral part of any development projects. And I am sure that Government of India has already included in their policy and programs to include the people's participation in all developmental schemes and all these schemes that is going to be implemented.
Thank you. Thank you, Afroz Sahab, for your what they called amazing presentation. Thank you, and we look forward to your continued support.
So always with you.
Reading movement also, because reading movement, this reading mission movement, with that technological touch,
Yes.
has to be that we have to reach the every corner of the country.
Yes,
Only
absolutely.
We can achieve universalization of education.
All my good wishes are with you. Always I am ready for you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everybody, and all the participants, the panelists, and Dr. Vignesh for giving such a technical support and all their participation also. Vignesh ji, over to Dr. Vignesh ji.
Thank you so much, sir, for being with us, being here with us today. So I just have few housekeeping announcements to the participants, sir. So participants, I've just shared the feedback form URL in the chat box. So kindly submit your feedback form. So once you submit the feedback form, then you will be able to automatically download the certificate of participation for this session. And tomorrow we have a session on the problems and prospects of regular school
Leave, Karan.
education using digital technologies in this pandemic
Leave, baby.
period.